you have to start with it being my approach to life. Okay. My military experience was one where, I got to do, the 9/11 happened. I saw the planes fly into the World Trade Center while I was at the Naval Academy. And, that dramatically shifted all of our journeys were going to look like. Like we all thought it was going to be like Pearl Harbor, where I don't know if you know this, but when Pearl Harbor was attacked, they actually graduated the first and second class midshipman class and commissioned them right away because they needed naval officers. So that's like a legend around the Naval Academy. So we were like, oh my God, we're gonna get fleeted up. Like, let's do this, right? And they had a combat air patrol from the Roosevelt up flying around the Naval Academy because they thought we were gonna be a target too. That sort of fundamentally changed the way that we were gonna approach this. When I graduated, I became a Marine, and then I got sent to Afghanistan on an embedded training team. And that first deployment was the Wild West, right? It was there were gunfights and IEDs were just starting to become a thing and all this stuff. And unfortunately I saw a lot of people get hurt and killed. And I saw the seriousness of someone shooting at you, someone shooting at me, right? Everything else fades. When someone's shooting at you, one, it totally sucks, right? It's scary. It's like you've got adrenaline and fear going at the same time. You're trying to figure out what to do. It's chaos. But anytime there's gunfire, it's chaos. And so you're trying to handle the chaos as well as trying to do the right thing, but also, figuring out trying to stay alive and training obviously really helps with that, but it doesn't take away the fear. So I got to be honest, when I approach life and business and something is a serious issue, I always frame it with the backdrop of nobody's shooting at me, right? And people can have their own versions of that, right? Nobody's robbing me, or my house isn't burning down, or to whatever it is that's way more serious than the problem you're dealing with right now. Right? It could be way more serious. Like, what if you have a heart attack right now? You're not going to care about this deal that's going bad. So there's all kinds of things that are way worse than the situation and problem that you're facing right now. So when I approach business, and again, it's an inexact science. Like, I get frustrated by stuff, and the traffic on the way over here was frustrating, right? So it's not like I don't get frustrated, but when something gets really stressful, I take a step back and I look at it and I say, man, it could always be way worse than this. And so the answer to the question of how did my military experience shape the way that I approach business and real estate is, one, problems aren't nearly as big as we oftentimes make them out to be. And if you can think with kind of a clear head in terms of that, it's easier to solve problems. And it's also, your quality of life is better because you're not constantly stressed going from thing to thing. Some of the most stressed people I've ever seen, I take a look at what's stressing them and I'm like, and I don't say this to them because it would be rude, but I think to myself, man, they're not happy right now. And they're not happy because of these relatively little things that they're allowing to hijack their brain. And in my opinion, man, life is way too short to just go from stressor to stressor instead of trying to find things that help make you happy and make others happy and make you fulfilled. So that's not a tactical thing, right? It's not like, oh, well, Afghanistan taught me that real estate on a hill is precious, and so I only buy houses on hills. There's none of that stuff. But like my tactical approach to real estate probably wasn't shaped too much by my military career, other than discipline, being organized, a bias for action, all the things that everybody listening to this has. But really, it's more of a framework of how I approach life. It can positively affect. It has the ability to diffuse the negative things and enhance the positive things if you use it.